Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Butit, nagkaroon tayo ng konting break dahil kung aking susunod na iti-take up sa inyo medyo mabigat, no? Medyo seryoso. At may baka marami rin sa inyo mabigla dun sa mga sasabihin ko. Okay, pwede natin simulan. So, dito, halalan, sinasabi natin halalan na naman sa Pilipinas. Election time again sa Pilipinas. Madalas na tutulad yung eleksyon sa Pilipinas, madalas, no? Sa circus, o kaya sa isang sabong. Yung mga campaign rally, masasaya. Kaya lang, madalas naging criticism dyan, short on substance, no? Masyado yung focus sa personalities and not on issues. There's so much glitter provided by yung mga showbiz personalities dyan. Kung naman sa political program, ang sabi nga dyan sa editorial ng Inquirer, yung parang yung political program, parang mga usual motherhood statements na lang na inipon-ipon at passed off as political programs. At saka yung mga eleksyon ay often marred or marked by lavish spending, vote buying, fraud, and violence. Tungkol naman sa political parties, nasabi na ang Pilipinas daw ay may weak political parties at weak political party system. Sabi sa Omnibus Electoral Code na yung political party ay dapat sana isang organized group of persons pursuing the same ideology, political ideas, or platform of government. Pero yung isang political scientist, ang sabi niya, nobody can accuse any of the Philippines' main parties of being such an animal. They are dominated by politico-economic elite, especially powerful political families or clans. They are built around personalities, not platforms or ideologies. They are indistinguishable, hindi pare-pareho yung kanilang mga programa at mahina ang kanilang mga membership base. Turncoatism is a venerable tradition. At sa isang sinulat ko na nga dyan, imbis na programmatic na mga organisasyon, pwedeng itayo, set up, merged with others, split, resurrected, regurgitated, reconstituted, renamed, repackaged, recycled, or flushed down the toilet anytime. Ngayon, let us trace the roots of itong politika sa Pilipinas. Bakit nagkaroon ito na parang trapo, no? Yung takbo. At may relate natin ito sa ma-relate natin ito dun sa traditional sa padrino system na sabi nga ni Lande, long an important feature of the Philippine politics. At may natitrace pa yung roots nito sa panahon pa ng Kastila. Si Rizal, na sabi niya, kailangan mo ng padrino kung kailangan mong kumuha ng passport, halimbawa, to get justice or to develop an industry. So matagal na itong padrino system. Sabi nga ni Lande na yung politika sa Pilipinas is structured less by organized interest groups, katulad sa Western countries, kundi by networks of personal relationships, largely involving exchanges of favors between prosperous patrons o padrino at saka yung mga poor and dependent clients. Halimbawa, may mga kliyente dyan na, okay, kailangan niya ng pera para sa kasal. So, okay, bibigay yung pera na yan ng isang padrino nila, pero yung panahon ng eleksyon, yung padrino nila, iboboto nila. Parang ganun yung nagiging relasyon. Kaya yung two main parties in the 1960s consisted of vertical change of itong patron-client ties na ito from national level to local level. And they catered to all the different classes, ethno-linguistic groups, geographical regions. Itong parties, LPNP, pareho yung ideological position, program, sources of support, Tapos, they performed the role of general benefactor. They offered every individual some limited but tangible reward, basta mayroon silang ibibigay na pabor, or reward each town which supported them with some visible public works project. Pagdating na noong 1960s and early 70s, yung padrino system ay medyo on the way, no? At doon naman, umarangkada yung political machine, which was a less personalistic form of political organization. It relied much more on particularistic material rewards rather than traditional patron-client. Ano yung particularistic? Halimbawa, yung kung isa kayo Ilocano, Ilocano rin yung bibigyan mo ng mga pabor, o kaya kung Bicolano ka, Bicolano, gano'n. Yun ang ibig sabihin itong particularistic. So nawala na, hindi na gano'n na personal na lamang. Meron pa rin, pero more and more nawawala yun. And yung clientelistic politics na sinasabi, defined as a system of exchange which is particularistic, non-programmatic, at walang ideolohiya. Tuloy. Ngayon sana, tuloy na. Yung itong patron-client, clientelism, yung ganyan, yung padrino system, sa isang nagmo-modernize na bansa, unti-unting mawawala na yan at mas magiging programmatic sana yung magiging politika. Pero nangyari sa Pilipinas noong late 60s at saka 1970s, guns, goons, gold, ika nga, no? Philippine elections increasingly were tarnished by irregularities, campaign overspending, vote buying, flying voters, falsification of election returns, political intimidation, hanggang killings. No? Noong 1971 nga, umabot pa ng record na 534 violent incidents and 905 ang namatay sa election-related violence. Okay? Ibig sabihin lamang ito, reflection ito ng matindi na labanan sa hanay ng mga paksyon ng political-economic elite. Pagdating ng early 70s, nagka-crisis itong ganitong klaseng politika sa Pilipinas. The old order could not survive. Pero sa halip na mas magiging democratic sana yung Pilipinas at konsolidado na democratic, di nag-survive yung demokrasya. Supposedly to end the rule of the oligarchs and to crush the insurgents, Marcos imposed authoritarian rule. Under Marcos, yung clientelism o padrino system turned into patrimonial authoritarianism or dictatorship. Ano itong patrimonialism na sinasabi? No? It is a type of rule in which the ruler does not distinguish between personal and public patrimony and treats matters and resources of state as his personal affair. So, ibig sabihin, kung ano nasa gobyerno, gagamit niya sa kanyang personal aggrandizement. No? So, making full use of his dictatorial powers, Marcos engaged in the politics of plunder. Okay? Tuloy. In his efforts for political normalization, Marcos restored elections. Tapos, tinayo niya yung KBL, kilusan ng bagong lipunan, which dominated all the elections in 1978 to 84. The KBL marked the shift from yung old style na clientelistic lamang to patrimonialistic party politics. Marcos and his cronies indulged in brazen and all-out plunder of the state's resources, kurakon, in other words. Take note, however, not all in the KBL were of the patronage, corrupt, or plundering types. Some do-gooders naively thought that they could achieve meaningful reforms under a patrimonial dictatorship. Kasama na dyan yung mga technocrats na malapit sa IMF World Bank. Since the fall of Marcos, the Philippines has been described by political scientists as a democracy, pero may adjective laging kadugtong. Ano ito? Elite democracy, cacique democracy, oligarchic democracy, low-intensity democracy, electoral clientelistic regime, etc. Lahat na ito show that the country's politics continues to be controlled by factions of the entrenched politico-economic elite that resort to various means to maintain their hold and wealth and power. Now, political corruption and violence in post-Marcos Philippines have reached such staggering proportions that they have become practically embedded in the country's political system. Ika nga ni Paul Hutchcroft, the Philippines is a patrimonial oligarchic state. That is, it is a weak state preyed upon and plundered by different factions of the elite who take advantage of and extract our privileges